Well, Arsenal's search for a forward is on, and now they're exploring Victor Osimhen, and Arsenal has gone ahead to line up very many forwards. And I know by the end of this January transfer window, Arsenal would have gone ahead to obviously find one to obviously sign and really bring to the Emirates to see to it that they obviously improve their chances of winning the league, because they've never been clearer than they are right now, because Man City looks like they're really off, and if Arsenal goes ahead to reinforce a little bit, then they might obviously give Liverpool a chase for this trophy of the Premier League 2024-2025 season. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. Hope you guys are really having fun. Second video of the day, and hope you guys are really having fun. Diego Carlos, who has been playing at Aston Villa, is now gonna be a player for Fenerbahce. Obviously gonna be playing under Jose Mourinho. And then we are having Renato Veiga, one of the players that Chelsea signed in the summer. Looks like they've gone ahead obviously want him out and see to it that they create space for other players to obviously come in. And those are the three stories that we are obviously gonna be calling right now. So how many likes on this video? 300 likes to be smashed on this video, and I would like to obviously extend my congratulations to everyone who has been part of this channel, and we've hit 24,300 subscribers, and by the end of today let's obviously hit 24,400, because you're left with just 92 subscribers to hit that milestone. So guys, let's continue to subscribe. Lower right bottom corner is the place to be. Smash the black button that has the word subscribe. After smashing it, hit the notification bell that will enable you get notified every time I upload a video onto this channel of ours. Now, this is Rokani Media, and this video is powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And even if you are a dealer, even if you need a used phone and a used laptop, call them onto that number, right? Call them onto that number. That is +256 70 99 88 665, and you'll thank us later here onto the Rokani Media. And even if you need an affordable smartwatch, don't hesitate calling them or following them on TikTok. Inbox them on TikTok at Mono Gadgets, and you'll obviously see to it that they obviously get you the best that you deserve as you the client. And they also do delivery, so they do a lot. Call them, and the lady will obviously have the best of the best for you into the mix. Now, Victor Osimhen, one of those players that went ahead to obviously cause a mutiny at Napoli, and then the manager Antonio Conte was like, you're out of my plans, and they loaned him to Galatasaray, and there was a clause that if at all a team comes in through with, is it 70 million euros, right, they'll obviously let him go to any team. And now very many teams are really exploring this deal, and Arsenal is one of those. And the story was dropped after Arsenal lost or drew or dropped points at Emirates over the weekend, and it's Peter O'Rourke, and he said Arsenal are exploring a move for Victor Osimhen. And Peter O'Rourke is a transfer correspondent for Football Insider 247, and he really has that credibility in what he says. And I tell you, he's smelling a rat. When he comes down and obviously puts out a story like this, I tell you, he has gone ahead to obviously smell a rat, and is like, something is expected to happen for Victor Osimhen. Now, Victor Osimhen has been linked to Arsenal, you know, always linked to Arsenal even last summer, and Arsenal are really putting in a charge to obviously get him in. But at the end of it all, we got to know to it that Arsenal's #1 target in the summer is none other than, Benjamin Šeško. And when the deal of Benjamin Šeško was off, most of the people were like, all right, let's call it quits, and let's obviously concentrate onto what we have control about. So that is all about Benjamin Šeško. But Victor Osimhen, I've always told you that he's a very good striker, and I think he can do a job at Arsenal, and I think he's one of those players that Arsenal should be getting in through. But I think Arsenal is trying to obviously play tiki-taka, like have one foot in Turkey, and Napoli negotiating for or looking at Osimhen, the other one looking at Cunha, the other one looking at Gyökeres, and very many others. They're really being spread all over, and they know the importance of this. That a team like Napoli that is desperate to sell knows it very well that this chance is obviously going to come once in a lifetime opportunity. And for 70 million euros, that is like 62, 63 million pounds. I think for Arsenal, it's really okay. I don't think that it will be something hard for Arsenal to do, you know, especially when they're really having a person like like Victor Osimhen on the market. All what I'm going to hate to know is that Arsenal spoiled for choice, because there are very many forwards that are on the market, you know. I've gone ahead to see a list where there is even Darwin Núñez, Gyökeres, Matthias Cunha, Liam Delap. There is also Benjamin Šeško. You understand? The list has close to 6 forwards, and there is Jonathan David. So it's all about Arsenal, and I don't know what they're really gonna do, because when we are spoiled for choice, sometimes you really take long to make a decision. But I don't think that Arsenal really needs to take long to make a decision on this. All they need to do is to come up and obviously come up and say enough is enough, let's get in a forward. Though for me, I've already told you, and you remember this, I've already told you that, one, if I'm Arsenal, a striker is the second signing I make in this January transfer window. All I have to do is to first get in another wide forward, especially who can really create chances of the right attacking side of the midfield where Bukayo Saka plays, because you can't be reliant to a player like him alone. You know, I know Waneri had gone ahead obviously coming through and put in a shift, but he's injured, meaning that you need another more dependable player to obviously do the needful, because even if you get in a center forward, I tell you, they can obviously cut off supply of this forward. You understand? And I think if Arsenal is seriously wanting a trophy, they have to bring in 2 players. Because if a club like Man City, who spends a lot than Arsenal on salaries, has gone ahead to bring in 3 players, and they're willing to bring in a 4th one and a 5th one in the January transfer window, how does Arsenal tell us that they don't have money to obviously do such things? You know, I think Arsenal should bring in 2 players, a center forward and another wide forward. Those 2 will pay will serve a very good charge for the trophy, especially this Premier League trophy, even the Champions League, because I think if Arsenal really reinforce well, they have a chance to obviously win a double this season. And Real Madrid is bad. You look at Barcelona is also not threatening, though it is really looking good. But I think Arsenal can do a job. Bayern Munich is struggling. Man City is struggling. I think the only side that is really on it, or at it, is none other than Liverpool. So if you are Arsenal and you really look at the situation and you look ahead, I think this is the most appropriate, I repeat, this is the most appropriate season for Arsenal to win a double. Get in the Champions League and get in a Premier League. It's all possible. All they have to do is to get in just 2 signings. 2 signings. If they can get in a Nico Williams or a Mbeumo, and they get in a Victor Osimhen or a Matthias Cunha or a Gyökeres, I think it can have a better purpose. But for me, if I'm Arsenal, my favorites should be Cunha and Mbeumo, those 2 players, because they're in the Premier League and they won't need anything like adapting to the league. You know, get in these players and they'll do the job for the club of Arsenal to compete for the Premier League and the Champions League. But for Victor Osimhen, I think for all strikers outside, him, Gyökeres and Benjamin Šeško, anyone they get of the 3 will obviously do a job for Arsenal, will serve a better purpose for them, because the club of Arsenal has seen very many people, you know, have seen because these three players that I'm talking about have elements of physicality that won't see them struggle into the Premier League. And for the club of Arsenal, they create chances, and if they get into players, a creator and a forward, I think their bench will obviously do wonders. And you saw to it after the game of Aston Villa, what the manager said, that what costed us that game was all about the bench. That the bench of Arsenal was really lacking, because the quality was nowhere near that of Aston Villa. Yesterday when I was doing that video that close to 7,000 people have gone here to watch, I told you that as Villa brought on Duran, they brought on Leon Bailey, Arsenal was bringing on Raheem Sterling, to show you that in a game like that Arsenal needed to win, the only forward player that they would obviously trust was none other than Raheem Sterling, meaning that they lack options going forward, and the options are not yet to return. Waneri, Saka and Jesus, those three are really out for some good time, and for Jesus in particular, his season might obviously have come to an end. For Saka, he's returning mid or early March. Waneri, we don't know, meaning that Arsenal cannot go from now to March when they haven't gone ahead to bring in forward players, because they need them immediately to obviously help them improve their charge for the trophy. That's what Arsenal is supposed to be doing, and I know that that's why you see to it that the likes of Victor Osimhen are being explored by Arsenal, to see to it that everything really moves on as planned. And for Victor Osimhen, he's really doing very well. If at all you look at his stats in Galatasaray, he's back to the player that we know as far as scoring goals is really concerned, because last season his goal scoring tally was not all that great. 25 games in the league, 15 goals and 3 assists, compared to the other season he scored 15, so he scored 26, so he scored 9 less. Champions League 6 games, 2 goals, that was not all up to the standards. But this season at Galatasaray, 14 games, he has 11 goals and 4 assists, meaning that every game he's worth a goal or an assist. 15 goal involvements in 11. And in the UEFA Europa League, 4 games played, 3 goals and 1 assist, meaning that 4 matches, 4 goal involvements. It shows you how much this player is on fire, to see to it that all loads on well as planned. So that is why Arsenal need in a player who is really a firebrand to do the needful. But I would love to see him coming through with another creative player that can obviously help Arsenal really create more chances as they wait for Saka, Waneri and Jesus to come back. And the importance of bringing in a centre forward and a wide forward is Arsenal won't rush these players back. I'm talking about Saka, Waneri and Jesus, because if they get in 2 players, like I've gone here to mention, that means there will be no rush to bring back the other players, because their squad will be unified and obviously having very many threats on and off on the bench. So this is what we had for you for Victor Osimhen. Let's get to Diego Carlos. Yesterday, Fabrizio Romano sounded, here we go, that Diego Carlos to Fenerbahce, here we go. Deal in place with Aston Villa as Brazilian defender will fly to Istanbul tonight. Transfer fee expected to be in excess of 10 million euros, with Aston Villa keen on Loic Bade as a replacement. So Diego Carlos has gone to Turkey, obviously, and I think it was high time for him to leave. And for Aston Villa, they've gone ahead to do the needful, because at his age, what else would you get? Because Diego Carlos age shocked me. I thought he was like 25, 26, and when I checked his age, he's 31 years of age and he's making 32 this year. But he has been an aggressive player and he really looked great for Villa, but looks like his time at Villa has gone ahead, obviously come to an end, and he's leaving for Fenerbahce, and Mourinho has been key to sign this player, and I tell you what, he'll enjoy himself that side. He'll enjoy. He'll enjoy a lot to see to it that all really moves on well as planned. So that's exactly what we've gonna hit obviously see today as it stands. Diego Carlos is really leaving, and I think each and every day I should obviously summarize our day with the done deals, because like yesterday we had like 3-4 done deals, and today we expect more deals to obviously get done and dusted and announced in there. So Diego Carlos has left from Villa to Fenerbahce, and Aston Villa are really bringing a replacement. Now, when you see teams like Aston Villa trying to obviously strengthen themselves, what do you think Arsenal should be doing? Arsenal should have already gone ahead to bring in another player, because they need these players more than any other. Now, let's go to Chelsea. It's all about Nico Cicera. Positive talks between Juventus and Renato, Veiga's agent. Expected direct talks between Juventus and Chelsea tomorrow to discuss the formula of the deal. Chelsea asked for 20 million euros on a permanent deal. So obviously Chelsea wants to sell this player and leave, and they don't want to obviously incur any losses into what they invested to obviously bring him here, bring him to Chelsea. Remember, they spent 12 million pounds. They spent 12 million pounds to obviously buy him and bring him at Chelsea, and they want obviously make a profit of close to 4 to 5 million pounds, because 20 million euros is like 17 million pounds. That's what exactly is needed by Chelsea. And Chelsea are telling Juventus that, please, if you want this player, please do the needful and get us 20 million euros, and they want a permanent deal, And today is really going to be important for Juventus, because the side of Chelsea is enjoying this ride, because very many others are really looking in for this player. And Alfredo Pedula from Portugal has told us that Renato Veiga has at least 3 other proposals, but he likes Juventus and awaits for Bianconeri's. So the fact is, there are very many other teams that are really interested in obviously getting or signing this player. But the facts that we are getting into from Alfredo Pedula, one of the credible tier 1 journalists from Portugal, indicates that the player has very many options, but he wants Juventus. And I know Juventus really has all what it takes to pay this money, because they are in a better financial position. This guy plays as a left back. He hasn't gone into excel at Chelsea, because Cucurella, who was nowhere into the picture of the manager, has gone ahead to obviously surprise everyone to be the first choice left back for Chelsea. You understand? Then there is Colwill and this other guy who plays as a right back and can really play as a left back. They signed him from France, Chelsea. Malo Gusto, that's the guy, has also made the work of Veiga very, very hard to obviously get into the starting 11 for the side of Chelsea. Why? Because he has very many people to beat, and the manager prefers either Cucurella or Malo Gusto, and there also even Levi Colwill, who can obviously play there, but he's preferred to be played as a left-sided centre back. So that's what is happening at Chelsea, and Veiga is leaving the club of Chelsea, and it's really very, 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 very disgusting for a player not even completing a season, and in 6 months a club really lets you go. But I know it looks like the player is really pushing to see that he leaves, but for Chelsea it's not yet done, because even Dozabri is also wanting to leave. So I call upon for your reactions into the comment section below about Arsenal exploring Victor Osimhen transfer. What do you make about it? Do you want Arsenal to go hard on it or not? Then tell us your thoughts about Diego Carlos going to Fenerbahce, and obviously Veiga going to Juventus, and Chelsea are really willing to sell him. Did it go wrong, or it's a player who has lost patience and is like, let me go to where I'm gonna be given first team football? I'm out. Second video of the day. Bye bye.